Hey everyone, welcome back to the Little Shop of Hoarders and the PDX Picker channel. My name is Chris. We got some orders that sold for me on eBay. Got an interesting follow-up to a previous video. I really want to get your opinion on this. I got roasted pretty harshly in the comments. Probably was deserved, but I just want to get a little bit more feedback on that. So go ahead and stick around after the shortened intro song. We get to pull those orders talking about that topic.
Wanna buy that Farrah Fawcett poster? I'll sell on eBay.
All right, so second day in a row, pulling orders. I got 8 items going out today, some really good ones. We'll start off with a nice golf club that, I think this is my first golf club that I've sold of the year. I don't know, maybe the second one. But it is a Nike, it's a Nike Ignite 7 iron. Picked it up for $7.50 at a thrift store. Didn't take very long to sell. I can't remember exactly when I listed it, but it was not that long ago. Probably 3 or 4 weeks. This right here, really nice condition. I just found the one. Nike clubs, in general, pretty good sellers because, I don't know if it's because. I think they were just good clubs to begin with, but they don't make Nike doesn't make golf clubs anymore. So the supply is not a lot for new ones anyway. But yeah, it's sold, I don't think I said, that sold for $29.99 plus shipping in just a couple of weeks, like I said. So very short turnaround on that one, which is always nice. I don't source a ton of golf clubs. I usually just can't find them at any good prices. And almost all the golf clubs I find when I go out to garage sales and the like are just junk clubs. It's amazing the amount of junk clubs that exist out there. You know, stuff from the 90s that was not any good even back then. And people are throwing their bag out there and asking $50 for it. I don't know who or if anyone ever buys those at that price. I don't think you could give away a bag of clubs that are old, you know, not very nice ones like that. But people around here, they still seem to think they have struck golf club gold. But let's pull one more item, then we'll get into that. Follow-up topic. This I found at my local thrift store for $1.99. I've never seen such a thing. It's called an even up shoe lift. It's quite interesting. You know when people have those walking boots because they've hurt themselves, and you can see it there on the picture. They've hurt themselves. Well, I guess naturally what that does is it makes one of your legs a little bit, you stand up a little bit taller. Well, this you put on your good foot, your other foot, and it makes it so that you're walking at the same height instead of one leg being taller than the other. Didn't even know such a thing existed. But yeah, bought that for $1.99, and that sold also quite quickly, about a month, for $19.99 plus shipping on that one. Before we get into the topic though, I want to use this opportunity to thank my member, my one member so far, Harley Gal 143. Thank you so much for supporting me by being a member of my channel. If you're interested in being a member, it's just $2.99 a month. You get shout outs in my videos. Most of the time it'll just be a scrolling feed, but early on in the process you'll get these vocal shout outs. But if you want to join, it's just down below near the subscribe button where it would be if you are already subscribed. So consider doing that. It's not that expensive, and you get some badges and emojis, I think, when you comment. So thank you very much again, Harley Gal 143, for being my first member. Let's do a quick fact or crap. In 1963, a man in Turkey discovered a vast lost underground city while renovating his home. So when this man in Turkey was renovating his home, he found this huge lost underground city. Fact or crap? I'm thinking crap. Fact. Wow. The full scope of the city, I'm not going to pronounce it, has yet to be fully revealed, but the city's significance is undisputed. Now that's what you call a man cave. Alright, a couple videos ago, I had a topic where I had a buyer who placed an order for a pair of shoes. It was right before Martin Luther King Jr. Day, so it was a holiday weekend. They bought it on Friday. And I just mentioned in the video that I don't ship on the weekends. And because of the 2-day handling, I didn't actually ship the order out until Wednesday. And there were a couple of people that were pretty heated in the comments. They just basically said that I didn't deserve to be a seller on eBay because I waited so long to ship the items. I gave all sellers bad names, and I have no business doing any of this stuff on eBay if I'm going to operate my business like that. First off, I will just say, in spite of the harsh verbiage, I did take that message to heart a little bit, and I realized, yeah, I certainly should have shipped that item quicker, even though technically 100% I was within the eBay rules. I wasn't necessarily doing a great job from a customer service perspective. On top of that, the buyer had requested to cancel the order because they said it wasn't going to get there in time, even though their time requirement was unrealistic from the get-go. There was no way that even if I had shipped that order the second I got it, they would not have received it in time. There's just no way. It was going across the country. It only had 3 business days to get there. Just wasn't going to happen. At least in my opinion. I could be totally wrong. I'm not a mail expert. But sending something ground advantage across the country with all this wintry weather, I just don't think it was going to get there in time. Anyway, like I said, I did take that, the intent of their message to heart, but I just curious what some of your additional feedback on that is. Is there anyone else that waits until kind of the end of their eBay allotted shipping time before you ship an item? Am I like completely on my own in doing that? I will say part of the reason, which is unique to folks like me, is I usually kind of congregate my orders together and I save them over a day or two so that I can film these videos. When times are a little bit slow, like it was right around that time, sometimes I have to wait a little bit longer, but sometimes I will just film over multiple days in order to make sure that I get my items shipped in time. But are there any of you out there that do that, similar to me, where you wait until, eBay says you must ship by this date, and do you wait till that date to ship it? I know there are definitely people out there that will get an order and will ship it out that same day, and I do that sometimes as well, don't get me wrong. It just depends on where it fits into my filming schedule. But anyway, what are your thoughts about that? What are your thoughts about those comments that people left? Comment below. Let's pull another item. That sold. I had sold another thing out of my new format for keeping inventory for clothing, shirts in particular. And so again here I just have all the shirts in plastic bags, or I think, I do have a pair of pants here. They're not completely shirts, but primarily shirts. And then I have little stickers on here showing the number. So that's going to be what the SKU is. It's just that number. So 0010 is what sold. And this is actually a Prana shirt. The funny thing is, when I went to list this item, this shirt, that same day, earlier that day, I had filmed a video talking about how I'm done sourcing Prana. It doesn't sell for me, or if it does, it sells really inexpensively. And I had this shirt. It's a long sleeve. I know you can't really see that very well. I'll show it to you here from the phone. That's what it looks like there, that big nice logo on it. Long sleeve shirt. Picked this up for $5.99, and it sold for $20 plus shipping. So, and relatively quickly too. I think because it had that graphic on there, that logo, I think that made it maybe a little bit more desirable than some of the other shirts that I've listed that are just plain and they don't have a lot going for them in terms of being spotted in all of the huge Prana listings that are out there. A huge number of Prana listings. But anyway, just thought it was ironic, the timing of that the day after or the same day I was just talking about not sourcing Prana, I found that I had to list, and it sold for me quite quickly, so that was nice. I paid $9.99 for these Nike Air Max 270s. I was a little bit worried that these aren't nearly as popular as they used to be. I used to see people wearing them all the time, and now I feel like I'm not seeing that nearly as often. But bought these for $9.99, and the other interesting thing, I never really thought about this, but these are bone colored is what it's called, light bone. Can you see that? To me, they just look dirty. They just look like, oh, I've gone through a muddy puddle of water and now all of my shoe is just brown. But that's what color it's supposed to be. I cleaned them up as well as I could, and those sold very quickly. So I guess Nike Air Max 270s are still in style for at least some people. Sold in about a week and a half for $39.99 plus shipping. I priced it on the lower end for that very reason. I mean, these, I think the other listings that were that same type of shoe were in the $60 range. But I listed mine low because I wanted to sell it quicker, and it worked. Speaking of working, I finally got up there and put my insulation board back up over my vent. There's a vent right here that cold air was just blowing in. I could feel it. When I was standing by the door here, it was just coming in. Super bad. We actually had sleet a couple days ago. No real snow yet, but it's in the forecast for upper 20s for like the next week or so. So I needed to get that hole covered up because it was chilly. And also my death pile. Don't know if it looks any different than yesterday, but I did take several items of clothing out of this bag and listed those, and I took a few more things out of here. So not a ton of progress made, but I am still putting it out there because I want you all to hold me accountable to get rid of this death pile as quickly as I can. And then I can get started on that death pile over there, which is all the stuff that I got from my storage unit auction, which, by the way, that video is still dying. There is hardly anyone watching. It was so much money, so much effort, so much time involved, and not only just cleaning out the unit, but even editing the videos themselves take a long time. So if you haven't already, please go over and watch that video. It's quite interesting. It's just it's a video where I go through a storage unit, an abandoned storage unit that I bought. There's some crazy things in there, some sketchy things in there, some surprises. So go ahead and watch that for sure. I think this is the second time. Yeah, this is the second time I have sold this, and because it was returned the first time. It's just the thermometer portion of a Oregon Scientific indoor-outdoor thermometer, which I buy these because of the sensors, the thermo sensors that go outside. Those can sell for like 40 bucks. I think I paid $6 or something, maybe $8 for this and the unit from Goodwill. So technically I said I spent $4 on this, but I already sold the outdoor unit for 40 bucks. And this I sold now for $10 plus shipping. It was returned to me because somebody, the original person that bought it, had a thermometer, they had another thermometer already, and they compared the temperature reading of this to their thermometer, and there was a 2-degree difference. And so they were convinced that this thermometer is terrible and was inaccurate, so they sent it back. I don't know, I felt like it could have just as easily been their existing thermometer that was bad, and it's close enough that I don't think, I mean, this isn't a scientific calculator, or this isn't a scientific thermometer. We're not conducting, you know, life-altering experiments. I think it's okay, even if it was $2 off. Or degrees, not dollars. My brain apparently is mixing up units all over the place. 2 degrees off. I sold a Patagonia duffel bag, and I feel like I did all I could with these. Let me show it to you. Right here, this is one of 3 Patagonia duffel bags that I've had for a long time. I bought this one for $6. I bought another one for $5 that I haven't listed yet. It's that one right there. And then I paid $20 for a third one, and that one is listed. So originally this had yellow duct tape all over here. Don't know why it was there. I think maybe it probably, well, I think it was there for, you know, if you put this on an airplane and it checked it, when it came out on the luggage carousel, you could see it easily. But it had this nasty, weird, you know, bright yellow duct tape, which I pulled off. But underneath, it's still just, it's old and gross. You can just kind of see on there, there's stains, there's nicks, it's just not in great condition. But Patagonia By the way, this is also from the 90s. This is like a 1997 made in the USA Patagonia. There's the logo there. Duffel bag. I cleaned it up multiple times, and it still kind of smells musty. I think it was stored in the garage for a long time and just kind of picked up an odor. Well, when I went to list it, even in the title, I called it a gear bag. Yeah, I called it a well-used gear bag. And then in the description, I talked about, all of the issues with it, the marks, the little nicks, the musty smell, and I said, don't consider using this for carrying clothes. Consider this for carrying. Power almost went out, or we had a power surge there. Consider using this for carrying gear. I listed it for $34.99 plus shipping, or excuse me, $24.99 plus shipping, which I paid $6 for it, so that's still a decent return. That sold in 5 to 10 minutes. I really hope that the person who bought it read the description, and that they're not shocked by the odor that comes from it. But it just shocked me how quickly it sold. I mean, no more than 10 minutes. It was the last item that I listed. I was kind of cleaning up in here, and before I even left the shop, it had already sold. So I know that it was a quick one. It was a quick one for sure. All right, we have 2 more items that sold. And the last one is a really great sale, so stick around for that. The next one that sold, 22B. Picked this up at my local thrift store, and it was $9.99. And it's this pair of Minnetonka slippers, not sandals. Kind of see on there. These were new in the box, and on the box here it says $39.99 is their price. The Brit Trapper is the particular model of these. So I thought, well, new in the box, I could hopefully sell these for around $30, and that's what they sold for, $29.99 plus shipping. The reason I bought them, the return isn't huge, but it was super easy to list. There was no cleaning that was involved, which was huge. I just had to take, I think 3 or 4 pictures. This picture, and I think maybe the back. And that was it. So it was just super easy to list. It's going to be super easy to ship. And it sold pretty quickly, in about a month. So that was why I was okay buying that, even though, like I said, the return wasn't great. I would have loved to have spent about $5 for that, maybe even less, but the other circumstances made it make sense for me. Last item of the day. This one was crazy. When I picked these up at the outlet, when I picked these up at the thrift store, another customer there, this is like the 3rd time or 4th time this has happened, another customer stopped me and was like, "Oh, that's a great pickup you got there." And it was. Paid $9.99 for these. I had a buyer reach out to me, a potential buyer, and they said, "Hey, would you take this amount for that?" I didn't have offers turned on for this. They said, "Would you take this for these?" And I said, "Sure," and I sent them an offer. And they accepted the offer, and they were just, "Oh, thank you so much. You are so amazing." It was like, right around 15% off or something like that was how much the discount was. "Thank you so much. God bless you. You're amazing. Thank you, thank you, thank you." I said, "My pleasure." And then, like 10 minutes later, they sent me a message. This was probably January 6th or 7th. They sent me this message later that said, "Thank you so much. You are amazing. I won't be able to pay for these until January 31st, but thank you so much for accepting my offer." And, again, what's great about eBay is these, even though I accepted that offer and the buyer hadn't paid, these still stayed listed. So anyone else could have had an opportunity to pay or send me an offer or pay full price for the item if they wanted to. So, whatever. If the buyer was not going to pay until the 31st. It didn't really matter to me. About a week later, they messaged me again. Hey, this is so-and-so. I'm the one interested in your shoes. Okay, thanks. Good. You know, that was all the message said. I didn't know what they were trying to get across, but they basically just said, you know, wanted to stay in touch, let you know that I'm still buying these on the 31st. Okay, that made sense. So I understood. And then they ended up reaching out to me every 3 or 4 days or so. Hey, it's so-and-so, still here, which was kind of nice. I did, you know, again, didn't really matter to me. If they bought them on the 31st, that's great. Otherwise, they just stayed listed. But I did appreciate that they were reaching out to me. Well, then it came to like the 28th or so, and they said, I'm going to be getting money on my card on the 31st. Any chance you'd accept $165? And I'm like, well, no. We already agreed on $175. But I didn't say anything. I didn't respond. And then 2 days before, so like the next day, they said, hey, I can't find, or I want to be able to pay the $175 that we agreed on, but I see that they're listed for $200. By the way, that's how much these sold for, was $175. So I just said, you know, I believe the original offer still it should still be in your email, because I wasn't able to give a send offer. I wasn't able to send them another offer. At least I don't think I was. Anyway, I said, you know, it should be in there, but let me know if you have any issues. Well, then the day of the 1st came, actually midnight literally midnight on February 1st. So they must have gotten paid. And they sent me a message, hey, I'm trying to buy, but for some reason my card isn't being accepted. Okay, whatever. Didn't respond. I mean, I don't know what I'm supposed to say to that. I'm sorry, you know. I literally can be of no help in that. And then finally, so this was the 1st. Today is the 4th or 3rd, whatever today is. The 3rd and the 4th, and they bought them on the 3rd for full price. They said they just didn't even send me another message after that. They just bought them, paid full price, $199.99. I reached out to them and said, hey, you know, we agreed on $175 before, so I'm going to send you a $25 refund. Here you go. I will be shipping these tomorrow. And their response was, thank you very much. So I don't know, I guess because maybe I wasn't very wordy in a lot of their messages to me. They weren't really wordy when I just gave them kind of a free $25. I mean, I wasn't obligated to give that. That was just a customer service thing. You know, we'd agreed on a deal of $175, even though she wasn't able to find the original offer where we agreed to that so she could pay. So then she just paid the full $200. I didn't have to refund the $25, but whatever. I'm not looking for like a big pat on the back, but it was funny because she was so verbose in her previous messages, just 5 or 6 sentences for something that probably should have been a 1 or 2 sentence message. And then when I gave her the $25 back, thank you very much. That was it. Anyway, these are what sold. These are vintage Doc Marten, made in England sandals. Total Y2K, chunky, you know. The nice thing about these and why I was asking so much is I don't think they were worn at all. I would almost consider these new without box. I didn't because I couldn't say for certain, but the soles or the heels, insoles, there we go, are just pristine. There is no wear on the soles. These are just super, super good condition. And even in okay condition, these sell somewhat regularly for about $100. So I listed them for $200. I had a lot of watchers, and of course this one person going back and forth with me. But I was very happy to sell these for $175. When you are finding Doc Martens, it is better if you see that they were made in England. Those are better quality. I can't remember exactly when, but somewhere in the last 10-ish years or so, they've moved their manufacturing over to China, and the quality went down a bit. It wasn't like horrifically bad, but it's gone down a bit. People will pay, as long as they're in good condition, will pay a premium for the made in England versions of these. So that was a big sale of the day, a great way to end the video. So thanks so much for watching. Please like this video if you did like it, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Thank you so much. Good luck with your reselling ventures, and we will catch you on the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.